What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Lay the House RM here, sharing my picks and plays for this Friday, May 17th. I'm mainly focusing on Underdog Fantasy, but I will share some of my regular sportsbook bets as well that I have on Hard Rock Sportsbook. So be sure to stick around till the end. I'll share those after we go through these Underdog plays. What I'll be doing in this video is I'll be going through Underdog Fantasy and using a tool on dailygrindfantasy.com, using their fantasy optimizer tool and coming up with a play for Underdog Fantasy today, just showing you my process behind it, how I come up with these plays, and pretty much just my full strategy when it comes to making entries on Underdog Fantasy. Now, if you haven't used Underdog Fantasy before and you want to sign up for an account, they do have a really good promotion. Sign up using the code LayTheHouseRM, and they'll give you a 50% deposit match bonus up to $500, or up to $250, I'm sorry. So how it works is if you put $500 into the account, they'll give you $250 in bonus bet money. If you put $100 in the account, they'll give you $50, and so on and so forth. So it's a good promotion to try out. You might as well just give it a shot. And if you use my code, it helps me, and it also helps you as well, and gives you some free money to play with. So with all that put aside, let's jump right in and go right into the plays and the process. So I'm going to head over my tabs here, go over to Daily Grind. This is the tool that I use every single day. It's their fantasy optimizer tool. It basically compares the lines on Underdog Fantasy to all the other lines on sportsbooks like FanDuel, DraftKings, Pinnacle, Bovada, BetOnline, Fliff, all these other sportsbooks as well. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the best values on Underdog Fantasy for tonight's slate. So if I filter it, look at this minimum data points, I like to compare to a lot of other sports books. So first play that's popping out to me, Tyrese Halliburton over 28.5. It's about minus 130 odds on Underdog Fantasy if you're doing a 2-pick play, minus 120 if you're doing 3-pick non-insured. So comparing it to the odds on all the other sports books, minus 125, minus 130, minus 166 on FanDuel. This play is really sticking out to me as a good value on Underdog Fantasy. So we're going to head over to Underdog, go right to Tyrese Halliburton here. We're going over on his points and assists of 28.5. Now, the important thing here is these lines do move very fast, so it is possible by the time you watch this video that some of these lines are pulled. But if you're in my Discord server, I post a ton of plays throughout the day, so you'll be able to mix and match them any way you want. You can combine my plays with your plays. You can just do my plays straight up, whatever you want to do. But there's a ton of ways to play, and there's always value to be found on Underdog Fantasy. Next value that's popping out on the top is Alec Burks over 0.5 blocks and steals. That is also the top value on the board. I generally try to stay away from overs on blocks and steals just because I've had bad luck on them recently. But I think for this instance here, I'm going to skip Alec Burks and go down to Chet Holmgren, which is the Saturday game. That is a really good value. So if you want to combine a play for Friday and Saturday's NBA games, Chet Holmgren's looks really good to me. We're going to go all the way down to Aaron Nesmith, though, the over 9.5 points. You can see it's 10.5 on FanDuel. It's 10.5 on BetOnline. So I definitely expect this line to move at some point throughout the day. So we're going to head over to Underdog Fantasy, find Aaron Nesmith here on the NBA game, go over 9.5 points. And I need to find one more player that's not on the Pacers for my 3-pick non-insured entry. So I'm just going to go back to my Daily Grind Fantasy tool here. Take a look at some baseball. I like this under 1.5 walks allowed on Kyle Harrison. Minus 140, minus 135, minus 133, minus 140. Really good value on it on Underdog Fantasy. So let's head over to Underdog. We'll go to MLB. Kyle Harrison's a pitcher on the Giants. Or if you want to search in the top left corner, you can search it as well. But I find it quicker for my computer to actually just go and find the game itself. Head over to Kyle Harrison here. Walks allowed under 1.5. And then I'll put $20 on this entry. Play it for $120. If all 3 picks win, it's at least $120 profit. Or at least $100 profit, $100 back. So really good money, really good odds in this one. This is just one of my plays for today. I'll post a bunch more in the Discord as the day goes on. But now let's transition over to my sports bets for today. So it's really early in the day. It's about 10 a.m. I only have a couple bets that I've placed today so far on Hard Rock Sportsbook. Heading over to OddsJam here, this is the tool that I use to place all of my bets and find the value for my bets. Same concept as Daily Grind Fantasy is I'm trying to find the lines with the most value on my sports books as compared to all the other sports books out there. That strategy is called Positive EV. If you're interested in learning about that, I have a few videos and some resources in my Discord server where you can learn about positive EV betting. But my 3 bets today that I've placed already so far, especially on the early game that you want to jump on, is in the Pirates versus Cubs. Game starts at 2:20 today. I'm going with under 4.5 on the first half total runs. So that's also called the first 5 innings. So under 4.5 runs on the first 5 innings in the Pirates and the Cubs. My line that I got was minus 135. It might be minus 145 for you. This is why you definitely need a tool like OddsJam to find these values for you so you can jump on them before any line movement. But I have $460 on that play, so it's a pretty heavy play for me. Next play that I made was on the WNBA, Seattle Storm versus Minnesota Lynx. We're going with the Minnesota Lynx over 81.5 on their team total. It was even money on the bet. I staked $150, so I'm risking $150 here. Potential payout of $300, so I might double my money on this play. And the third and final pick that I already have in play is in the White Sox and the Yankees game. Chicago White Sox team total over 2.5 runs. Odds were minus 110. Currently minus 115 on a lot of other sports books, but I risked $250 in this one, so it's a medium-sized bet for me. I'll be posting a bunch more plays in my Discord server and Twitter and all my other social media pages throughout the day today. So if you want to see all my plays, all my links are located in the description below. If you go to my link tree, you could find everything, including referrals to OddsJam and Daily Grind and Underdog Fantasy as well. And then if you want to see all of my plays and interact with me every single day, the Discord's the best place to be. Also linked in the description below. It's free to join. I don't sell any picks or anything. I pretty much, I share my referrals with you. I share my process with you. I try to teach you all as much as I possibly can, and I'm here in this just to help you guys out. I make enough money, obviously, on my bets and my referrals that I don't need to charge for my plays. So if you're interested in joining the Discord, I highly advise it. That's where you can see all of my action every single day, and I'm there to help you guys out all the time. So I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. Hopefully we can have another profitable day, and best of luck on your bets today, everybody.